I will say I kind of actually like the theme song.
Yeah,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Bam,
Dun, dun,
bam,
dun, dun,
bam, bam.
dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Too much energy.
Too much Energon, like this podcast.
Cheetor, what in the ever-loving fuck have you done?
If I wanted to fly, I would have become a bat, not a rat.
It seems my head is purple fire now.
Intelligent conversation.
G'nee!
The louder you yell, the more damage your bullets do.
Ah!
Yes, yes. Yes,
Well,
it's gonna blow.
I've decided that I want to live.
No, not that. Ah!
Welcome, listeners, to episode 130 of Too Much Energon, your favorite podcast where two dudes talk about Beast Wars shit, and especially talk shit about Beast Wars. I am one of your hosts, the NeoCal.
I am your other host, Lio Convoy.
Mr. Christopheles.
Christopheles. That was actually my username on PSN many, many years ago, was the Great Christopheles.
That's good.
Yeah, anyway, I'm Christopher Siege, one of your hosts and your other host.
With the host of the other thing. You know what? We're covering Beast Wars 2.
Speaking of covering, and and it's Beast Wars 2nd, not Beast Wars 2.
Oh. It's Beast Wars 2nd. Sorry. The Japanese anime.
Speaking of covering and recovering, I have a galactic level, a maximal level, or a planet buster level, if you will. Vok U hangover at the moment, so I'm definitely not on my A game right now. And if you're watching the video version of this show, then you'll see that I'm actually wearing shades because my eyes are my face is quite puffy and my eyes are well, it's bad news bears, as Cal would say.
I do say that a lot, don't I?
Well, anyway,
where we're going, we don't need eyes to review.
We won't
There's
need
a movie
eyes
you haven't watched.
to see where we're going.
Fucking Event Horizon.
Yeah, you like that I knew exactly what you were referencing there.
Yeah.
Eyes.
I haven't watched
where we're
that.
going, we don't need eyes.
Pew, pew, pew.
One of the great movie scores.
Right? If anyone's wondering what thing we just hummed, at least mine was terrible, but Christopher hummed Back to the Future.
The Back to the Future theme by Alan Silvestri, one of the greatest film composers of all time.
Hell yes.
And he did the Manimal theme, which is so...
That's...
Before he hit it big in Hollywood, he did the fucking Manimal theme.
Hey, that's the beginning of him hitting it big in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know what? Every once in a while I'll go through and I'll be like, 20 views, 12 views, 17 views. And then I look at our fucking Manimal episode of the Lasercomb podcast.
And it's like thousands of views and dozens of likes. And I'm like, why?
But so much other things that's hit closer to the pop culture zeitgeist than Manimal. And I don't know, the algorithm.
Our Silicon Valley episode of the Lasercomb podcast actually got a lot of likes and views as well. Which it's like, why this?
Yeah.
Why is this the one?
Well, we'll never know.
Mystic Knights of Tirnanog, our episode that the Lasercomb podcast that we covered, that is also getting a lot of views as well.
I saw that. Maybe the thumbnail game is strong.
Maybe.
They don't. Yeah, maybe your thumbnail games. Big funny faces. Big funny faces is how people react. Oh, and red circles with an arrow pointing to them. If I've learned anything from thumbnails.
Right.
Cleavage, big stupid faces, like the one on the thumbnail for Manimal, where he's like, cleavage, big stupid faces, circles.
Yeah.
Red circles with like, you won't believe text. Well,
I do still really want to do like a themed like block of episodes of that show that's just dedicated to the shows of Simon McCorkindale, the guy who played Manimal.
Honorary Simon McCorkindale month.
Yeah.
Somebody else recommended Bonsai, Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what the where have I heard that before?
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
And then they sent me
dimension.
And then they sent it, and then they started talking about it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the movie that Christopher watched. And he's like, oh, you've heard of it? And I'm like, yeah, I saw the outro. The most fire fucking like credits outro I've ever seen in my life.
That
and he's like, oh, it's a great movie. You should watch it. And I'm like, really?
No, it's not a great movie. Anyone who tells you that is lying.
I knew it.
It's an experience, is what I'll say.
It's an experience.
It's fun.
You watch it for the experience.
But it's not a great movie. In fact, I was actually bored a lot of the time while I was watching it. But like, when that movie hits, it hits really good. But unfortunately, it doesn't hit really good a lot.
A lot? Yeah. As expected.
Yeah.
Kind of like that with like, and not to throw shade, there's lots of movies I like from the era, but like movies from the 70s and prior, I kind of hit like that. Again, like The Warriors, fucking phenomenal movie. That was what 71? When did that come out? Like in 70? Like years? I know Alien was what, 79? No,
Yeah.
The Warriors was 79.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, and those are like fucking have gone down to the annals of history.
A lot of film historians will regard the 70s as being like one of the best decades for cinema, and I'm like,
That's what I mean. Like, I can think of a lot of like good, like people can point it out, but I mean, a lot of it's pretty fucking boring. And again, might get shit for this, but like a lot of old James Bond movies, kind of fucking boring, man.
Run along now, Bond talk.
Run along now, Bond talk.
Jesus Christ. A lot of really good films in the 50s, though. I will say, 50s was the 1950s was a very good decade for film.
I can't even think of any 50s movies.
Seven Samurai.
Oh, yeah, good point. I was just talking about that with the same guy. Have you met Byron? My friend Byron?
No, I don't
Huge
think so.
film critic. Not critic, sorry, huge film nut.
Aficionado.
Aficionado, if you will. Okay.
12 Angry Men.
Oh, that was 50s?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was.
Smokey and the Bandit, Slapshot, Okay, Rocky Horror Picture House was 70s. Alien, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
12 Angry Men, 1957.
Carrie was, again, Carrie's fucking slow. Like, I like Carrie, but it's just slow. Rocky was 76. Okay.
Rosemary's Baby. It's from the 70s, I believe.
Superman, the movie. Star Wars was what, 78, 77?
77.
So there's and Jaws, like there's stuff, there's stuff in it. Every decade's gonna have like good stuff.
Right. The 90s, particularly 1999. Like 1999 is one of the greatest years in cinema history. Like look at films, look at a list of films that were released in 1999, and holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing it. 1999 in film. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking The Matrix. I'm thinking Being John Malkovich. I'm thinking The Sixth Sense. The Matrix.
Wild Wild West.
Fight Club.
Fight
Wild
Club.
West. Just had to
People
throw
forget that
in there,
movie.
didn't you?
People forget that movie exists,
People don't think it be like it is, but it do.
but it do.
I've actually got people at work saying that now.
Fucking nice. We're bringing it back, folks. American Beauty, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
The Mummy? Was The Mummy 1999?
it
Should
was.
just bring it up.
Yeah, I'm on the list now. Okay, so
99.
In Dreams, which is actually a pretty good movie, but I don't know if I'd like
Star
it. now.
Wars: The Phantom Menace. 10 Things I Hate About You.
She's
Right.
all that.
She's all that. Yeah.
Payback, pretty good. Mel
yeah.
Gibson movie.
Mel Gibson movie. Yeah.
where he does like his Lethal Weapon thing, except he's the bad guy basically instead of
Yeah.
the cop.
It's a good way.
Blast from the Past
Stigmata.
with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone.
That was 99?
Yeah.
That was where he's in like a capsule underground and he like
Yep.
comes out, right?
Yeah, they were like stuck in like suspended animation or something like that in the 1950s and then wake up in the 1990s.
Can't quite remember, yeah. Mystery Men.
Office Space, 8mm, which is a pretty underrated film in my opinion.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Existenz. Blair Witch
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, Existence, David Cronenberg film.
Hell yeah.
Analyze This, Cruel Intentions,
Galaxy Quest.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Ravenous.
Bicentennial Man. Yeah, holy shit. 1999, man.
10 Things I Hate About You, The Matrix,
The Green Mile. Entrapment. Come along now, spy talk.
Existence, again, Lost
Girl.
and Found, which is
Yeah.
a movie that no one remembers, but I actually really liked when I was a teenager.
That sounds familiar. That
It starred David Spade and Sophie Marceau. It was a rom-com.
right. No, I had watched that.
Idle Hands.
I remember that. It was dumb. A guy's hand gets possessed and
Yeah. The
it's
Mummy.
funny, but The 13th Warrior. My grandma fucking loved that movie.
Right, with
Antonio
Antonio
Banderas.
Banderas. Yeah.
When he like
That-
goes up to the north with like Vikings.
That's why your grandma loved that movie. Was because it
Oh.
had Antonio Banderas in it.
Guess what other movies she liked? She also liked
The Mask of Zorro.
The Mask of Zorro. Got two sexy beasts in that one. She also liked Desperado.
The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. Okay.
The South Park movie. That's right. Damn, man. 1999. Well, this has been our We Talk About What Films Came Out
Oh.
in 1999 podcast.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah.
Run Lola Run.
I don't remember that.
Oh, Run Lola Run is fucking great.
Oh, no. I know what movie that is.
It's that German film with
Yeah.
Franca Potente.
I fucking know
Ooh.
what movie that is.
Yeah. She's trying to save her boyfriend Manny, and the plot plays out in 3 different ways. The South Park movie, bigger, longer, and uncut. American Pie, The Blair Witch Project,
Blair Witch Project, yeah.
Muppets from
American Pie
Space.
was 99.
Eyes Wide Shut, Lake Placid.
Lake Placid was like the spooky alligator, like Jaws, but a crocodile in a lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Iron Giant, Mystery Men, The Sixth Sense, The Thomas Crown Affair, Bowfinger.
There should be a mystery man.
Bowfinger, really funny movie.
Holy shit! Yeah, I remember that.
Detroit Rock City, Mickey Blue Eyes, and Yeah, the 13th Warrior, as you mentioned. Dudley Do-Right.
Was that the one with Brandon Fraser?
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
I know I watched it, but I can't tell you anything about it. I was like 13 at the time. I don't fucking remember forgettable movies.
Double Jeopardy, part of the wave of movies that featured covers of Ashley Judd looking at things.
I mean, fuck. That was a thing, yeah.
American Beauty, Mystery Alaska, Three Kings,
The Haunting.
Fight Club, Boys Don't Cry, Bringing Out the Dead, which is a very underrated Martin Scorsese film.
Apparently, there's a movie called The Trench, a World War I movie.
Being
Called
John
The Trench.
Malkovich,
It had,
House on Haunted Hill.
who was
Sorry,
the
go on.
old? Yeah, who was the old Bond? Or not the old Bond, but Daniel Craig. There's a 1999 movie with Daniel Craig called The Trench.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Oh, Kevin Smith's Dogma came out in November '99. Sleepy
fuck is-
Hollow, one of the best Tim Burton films. Fight
A
Me.
lot of people kind of don't. I'm surprised you really like that.
No, Sleepy Hollow is great. It's
Yeah,
I think
like
it's one
it.
of Tim Burton's best films.
And fucking Christopher Walken's the headless horseman, but you don't know that till like the last 15 minutes of the movie because he doesn't have a head.
Dude, spoilers for
Oh,
a
shit.
24-year-old film.
Shit. Well, it's the actor. It's not spoilers, right?
Toy Story 2,
What was End of Days? That sounds familiar, but
Schwarzenegger film where he fights the devil. It's not a good movie, but I remember
there were so many movies about people fighting the devil or being the devil that I get them all confused.
The Cider House Rules, which won a bunch of awards. Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, a
Oh my
movie that
god.
time has fortunately mostly forgotten.
Mercifully.
Magnolia,
And, well, I don't remember what that
Girl Interrupted,
girl
Any Given
interrupted.
Sunday, Man on the Moon,
Man on the Moon. Yeah.
Galaxy Quest,
We
Talented Mr.
need
Ripley.
your help. The Talented Mr. Ripley, 99 as well.
Yeah, so 1999, folks.
Yeah.
Really?
Suck our dick.
Really fucking good year in cinema. And that was actually around the time where I was really actually starting to seriously get into movies too.
Yeah, great. Great year.
Yeah.
And everything went downhill from there.
Yeah, speaking of going downhill, this is episode 130 of Too Much Energon, and this week we are talking about Beast Wars 2nd, episode 2. White Lion, run!
Run!
Exclamation mark. It originally aired in Japan on April 8th of 1998. And, well, what happens in this episode, Cal?
So we got the Maximals. They're hanging out in their shuttle, and Lion walks on. And they're like, "Hey, Lion, you can't come here. This is VIP only." And then the Lion's like, "Shut up, Beavis." And they're like, "That voice, I recognize him." And it transforms into, they really milked this out, huh? It transforms into Convoy. Now Lio Convoy.
Takes until the battle for him to actually transform. And this is one of the things that was actually frustrating about me. This is one of the things that I was frustrated about was while watching this is several minutes go by and they're like, "Hey, there's that white lion that saved us. We should follow him." Yeah. And the white lion is just lioning around, doing stuff, being a fucking lion. When it's at literally he could have just spoke and been like, "Hey, it's me, Convoy."
Oh, the last episode when he was being dramatic?
No, and it happens in this episode too. For the first several minutes. He's just
Oh, when they're chasing him. Yeah.
he takes way too long to actually just reveal himself to be Convoy.
It's
and it's
not until they're in the base.
why? And it's why?
Dramatic effect or something like that. there's some jokes after he transforms. Right? They're like Apache starts crying and he's like, "Oh, Commander, I'm so glad you're back. I couldn't take the pressure." And then the first thing you really don't like that the first like 3 minutes of the episode were them just chasing this fucking white lion around, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm like, for fuck's sake, like we all know it's Lio Convoy. Like, just not even transform, just be like, "Hey guys, it's me, Convoy. Follow me."
Because as we've seen, they can talk.
They can talk in their beast modes. So the fact that he was just like
Being
stringing them
dramatic.
along
Yeah.
for so long, like I found really frustrating.
He's dramatic, you know?
Right.
He's being dramatic. Being a dramatic lion. We get some more dramatic lion shit later. But yeah, what happens again? Oh, fucking they all say you had us worried. They all have a good laugh because they thought he was dead. And then Lio Convoy's like, "All right, as my first order, computer, make me a fancy steak." And the computer's like, "I, as an advanced computer that can do many things, will make you a steak." And I'm like, "Thanks, thanks, computer." And they're all like,
Navi, tea, Earl Grey, hot.
"Hot, making lukewarm tea, orange pico." No.
No. He goes to beast mode specifically just to like swat the tea mug out of the way.
Smacks it off the replicator. So after he gets his steak, he's revealed he's not throwing a Lio Convoy reveals he's not throwing a party for the Maximals. That special steak is what I think they call it. Special steak is for the lion that saved him. And we get a flashback of how he was saved when he crash landed. And I shit you not, the lion finds him. He's like, the atmosphere of this planet. It's weakening me at this rate. Oh, and a lion finds him. And perplexingly, the lion picks him up and puts Convoy, an 8-ton transformer, on its back.
As a lion would do.
As a lion would do. We've seen this in the wild. Male lions picking up jeeps on their back and just running across the Sahara.
Right.
So it goes across country, full sprint, mind you, as if like, you know, he doesn't have a 10-ton fucking robot on his back. And brings him to
that added weight isn't slowing him down at all.
Oh no, this is a special white and gold lion, apparently, which they don't address. That's what those lions looked like 5 million years ago. And he runs into a canyon that's all sparkly and gold.
So this is actually one thing that I know about Beast Wars 2nd is Gaia is Earth, but this is apparently like thousands of years in the future. So like mankind is gone and dead.
Well, that makes sense as we see what happens later when they find the supercomputer.
Right. But,
so the glittering canyon, he's thinking to himself in the flashback, like, is this lion trying to save me? And I'm like, but why?
Yeah, but
and
why,
how?
Though?
But why? And how would it know? So it brings him to a cave, and it's unclear why it's all sparkly, but this cave re-energizes and saves Convoy.
Right.
For a reason that it literally just turns back after the flashback is done, and it's like, and because of that lion, I was saved. And again, it's fun. It's fun, right? But there's so much anime bullshit in this where they just go, and that's why this happened.
Puts his fist to his hips and is like, and everything turned out okay.
I mean, that's literally how this episode
with a big
ends.
smile on his face and like a twinkle in his eye, and the camera like freeze frames as he like thumbs up.
And they all go, "Oh, that explains everything." I guess
I still have questions.
And we won't get answers.
None of these questions and more will be answered on this episode of Too Much Energon.
So we cut to the Destrons, and what they did is they found an ancient underground city where they want to make their fortress, and it has a huge like computer and technological like reserve building.
A whole lot of angle slam.
All the angle slam you could chug.
And so like Galvatron and G2 Megatron decide to land the Galvaberg 2 Electric Boogaloo on top of this. And Galvatron is like, "Oh, well, those Maximals have a beast mode, so I need a beast mode too. I'm going to scan the most powerful creatures." And it scans like a tank and a dragon.
And as we know, being humans that have uncovered our own history and the history of fossils and animals before us, the most perfect form is a dragon or a tank.
The most powerful beast forms in all of Gaia's history are a tank and a dragon.
Yeah.
Those two. So why not both?
Why not both?
But the
Who's
whole thing,
to say who would win if they fought?
But the whole thing ends up putting Galvatron into this like
Stasis lock or
stasis lock, yeah.
Like a shutdown.
Some kind of
asleep.
coma. He's asleep.
And his brother
and G2 Megatron
goes.
goes.
Gonna call him G2 Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, wake up!" And he pokes him with a stick, and he's like, "Ha ha! Oni-chan is out cold. Looks like Big Brother. It's my time to shine."
And then
instead
he
of
pulls out a
destroying
pair
him,
of shades and puts them on, and he's like, "Yeah."
yeah, and he takes over, and I guess all he has to do for that is say that he's in command, and nobody questions it.
And he decides to use the computer to basically create his own seekers? Am I misremembering this?
So
he makes his own seekers.
He makes his own seekers out of the...
I feel like he created them in some way. I don't know, folks. I watched this a
He
few
does.
hours
There's
ago.
like putties. Okay, there's like putties. And on this computer, G2 like enters in like a dump truck, like an APC. And he's like, "Auto rollers, begin scanning these vehicles." And the auto rollers are the ones that are like on the ground. The ones in the air, he calls, bear with me.
Well, and like the seekers that he creates are actually like G1 seekers, like Starscream and Dirge and Thrust and.
Anyways, they have
Skywarp.
different names. The auto rollers are the ones on the ground, and then the other ones that I can't remember are like Thrust, Dirge, Starscream. Yeah, and they're all like different jets. One's like a stealth bomber.
Yeah.
We skipped over this last time. We get a shot of a robot girl who is a robot rabbit with a pet robot rabbit inside the moon.
We didn't talk about this anime bullshit last episode
because we were just. But she makes a very brief appearance.
So thank you for bringing this up. This is some anime bullshit right here.
She's only in it like 15 seconds. She's going to be important later, maybe. But it's anime bullshit. And I knew you were going... I was like, so how about that anime bullshit with like the girl and the rabbit? My backpack is the moon princess robot holding a hammer and smacking her pet rabbit. Because violence is funny in anime. Only when cute girls do it.
Yeah.
If robots do it, it's bad.
Folks, if you're just joining us or if you've only started listening to us recently, I quite famously am not a fan of anime.
So
There
you
are
loved this part of this high-pitched girl screaming at the
oh
camera.
oh uh, uh, yeah, I live for this kind of shit.
And the little rabbit being like, "Oh, I'm so tired, Mew Mew. Oh, I can't consume any more food, Mew Mew." It make no mistake, this is an anime.
Uh-huh. Now, I will add to that there are animes that I do like. I like certain, I especially like certain anime films. I'm not a big fan of anime series, and I especially don't like shonen bullshit. Like, ugh. Um,
It's just funny because you had a partner that did like shonen.
uh, yeah, yeah. We're gonna table that for off air.
We'll table that. But
But anyway, no, I like a lot of like really like classic and like revered like anime films like Ninja Scroll, like Ghost in the Shell, Perfect Blue, like that's the kind of thing. I like really adult anime.
fighting foodons.
Well, yes,
But
the reverse of that, Food Wars.
it is it's opposite, yeah. Oh, Food Wars, where it acts serious, but like
But it's just so goddamn absurd.
it's so over the top and absurd. Yeah. One day I'm gonna make a rice bowl that's like so godly, and I'm just gonna like blow everybody's like clothes off that they eat
And
it.
you're just gonna yell out. People are like, "Oh, what is this dish called?" And you're just gonna be like, "Fried ricer, fried ricer," along with a side of shrimp daddy.
You still remember that? That's hilarious.
I'll
We
never
review-
forget that.
We've had a couple of anime months on our other podcast, the Lasercomb podcast, and some of the random anime that we've ended up watching was shockingly good.
The
Some of it's shockingly bad, but
Fighting Foodons was a Patreon pick on that podcast. That's that
it
and
knows
Manimal.
what it is.
That and
And
Animal, I
Manimal.
think, are the two like greatest things that our patrons have pitched to us.
That Manimal, yeah, those were up there. I mean, 321 Penguins has a special place in our heart, though.
For different reasons.
For different, you know me. I like Christian CGI programming as much as the next Joe Schmo. But when it came to 321 Penguins, God forgot about that show long ago.
You know, over here, over at Vinny's Pizzeria, like we're okay with the Christian programming. Like we're God fearing folk over here, but when it comes to 321 Penguins, it's more like 321 get the fuck out of here, if you know what I'm saying.
321, we're gonna take care of it. I ain't never whack a penguin before, but boy howdy did I want to.
uh,
Do people eat penguins?
I don't think so.
Can you
Now I'm kind of
eat
curious.
penguins? Or does it? No, although penguin meat's not toxic, penguins are not eaten in any cuisine. The main reason for this is it's illegal to hunt penguins in places where they're abundant and generally perceived as immoral due to the endangered status. Yeah, but what do they taste like? Can you eat penguin and how does it taste? Here we go.
Tastes like chicken.
Does it taste like fish, bird? Who would ask that? It's not a fish.
Yeah.
They soon ran low on food in the expedition. They began to eat the meat of penguins and seals. The penguin meat was so bad that many refused to eat it. One
Even
explorer,
starving explorers were just like, no, I'm good.
holy shit!
Well, What about Gordon? What about Gordon over there? He's dead. We'll just eat cut meat off of his ass, and we'll
There
eat
you
that
have it,
instead.
folks. Penguin are so fucking bad. People will eat people before they eat penguin. The crew members began to die. They began to eat the meat of penguins and seals. The record indicates that the penguin meat was so bad that many refused to eat it, and some of those died.
Turned to cannibalism instead.
One explorer described it as tasting like beef, codfish, and duck roasted in a pot with blood and cod liver oil used for the sauce.
Jesus Christ. That sounds horrendous.
Yes, they're suitable for human eating, and throughout history, explorers have eaten them, but nobody would equate them to typical chicken or eggs or anything, and people have only eaten them when they are starving. Well, there you go. Huh.
Well, there you have
I
it,
don't know.
folks.
It just popped up in my head. I'm like, it seems like they'd be good eating, right? Like they got the fat layer on the outside, they're swimming all day, but I guess they fucking taste like shit. Apparently the eggs are not great either. Really, even the eggs. Well, there you go. That's a part of evolution. Tastes like shit and you don't get eaten.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like if they tasted good, like, we would be eating them, like...
They'd be extinct 100 years ago.
Yeah, we'd be eating them, like, constantly.
They'd be gone with the dodo, right? Like, apparently the dodo was, like, fucking greasy and delicious, like, way better than turkey or chicken. Like, the best bird anyone had ever tasted. And here's the thing. Let's say I'm around in 1785 and I'm sailing the seven seas. You know, I land on Dodo Island. I'm not going to be the dude to not try dodo. I'm just
try
saying.
that once and you're like, God
Holy
damn it,
shit.
I need some more. You, hand me my rifle.
Hand me my club.
Where are those dodos? Hand me my musket.
Yeah, apparently
I need more.
dodos, because they didn't have any predators on the islands they were on, they would just approach explorers. Just like walk up to them because they're like slightly territorial of their nests. And they just club them over the head.
That's unfortunate.
They had no prey instincts. Yeah. So they were
Very
super easy to
unfortunate.
catch and super delicious. It's unfortunate because if they had kept some alive, I'm just saying, we know what dodo tastes like.
Well, in our lifetime, we may, because I remember reading a while back that they're actually, like, trying to clone the dodo. So we could be eating clone dodo.
I can't wait for Clodo.
In our lifetime.
Apparently they're doing that with, they're going to in vitro a woolly mammoth into like an African elephant.
Right.
Bingo,
Sweet.
dino DNA. What could go wrong?
Mastodon, pterodactyl, triceratops, saber-toothed tiger, tyrannosaurus.
I can't wait. I mean, those things were separated by hundreds of millions of years, but sure, they're all dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, all I'm saying is eventually, like, Rita is going, like, a couple of astronauts are going to open up a, like, giant, like,
Manhole cover.
the man cover on the moon, and all of a sudden Rita is just gonna pop out and be like, after 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth. And we'll need something to defend us, goddammit.
Absolutely.
And it will...
And it's not going to be the Space Force.
No, it's not going to be the Space Force. It's going to be cloned dodos and cloned woolly mammoths. Mark my words.
Hopefully, by that era, also cloned pterodactyls and other dinosaurs.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Or some monstrosity abomination of them.
Anyway, so
anime girl on the moon, she doesn't fucking do anything. It's reminding us she's there.
right.
Anything to add to that other than your hatred for it?
Other than my hatred for, like, random anime bullshit, no, nothing.
Yeah. So what the fuck happens here? They all transform.
Reminding us that she's there, as I hope to forget it.
Well, good job, lady. It worked. So, Megastorm, aka
G2 Megatron.
G2 Megatron. He tells all the Seekers to go out. He tells the auto rollers to burn the fucking jungle down. But because whatever. And this is where there's okay moments in this episode, because there's some conversation between Starscream and who's the big guy?
Oh, BB.
Thank you. Yeah, BB, the stealth bomber guy. And they're like, hey, Dirge and Thrust are idiots. Comedy duo. He keeps calling them. We need to catch that lion, because all of the Seekers have been given the orders to catch the white lion for reasons. Even Starscream is like, why don't we just kill him? And he's like, no, I've got a feeling.
He made a fool of us. Therefore, we need to catch him to make an example of him. And I'm like,
It's a lion, dude.
It's a lion. And who, like...
The other lions?
The lion community on planet Gaia needs to know not to fuck with the Decepticons.
So, yeah, I guess. We need to kill him real slow, like torture him and let him back. So we send a message to the lion community.
And see, we're gonna take.
We're not even exaggerating. That's kind of what they're talking about.
We're gonna take one of his paws, and we're gonna take a meat cleaver back. That we have out back at Vinny's Pizzeria, and we're gonna cleave off one of his claws, yeah, and we're gonna send that to the other lions as a message. You don't fuck with the Decepticon family, okay?
Bada bing, bada boom. Lion head in your bed when you wake up. And so Starscream and BB are like, okay, what we do is Wheeze needs to catch this here's lions, and then we'll be in Megastorm's good graces. I mean, G2 Megatron's good graces.
So, folks, just to explain, the reason why I'm calling Megastorm G2 Megatron is because, like, his form is quite literally the toy of G2 Megatron. Transformers Generation 2 Megatron. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Who was a green tank.
That's right. Oh, yeah, so it is like G2 Megatron.
It's quite literally G2 Megatron.
Yeah. There's some antics, and they find Mr. White Lion. The White Lion roars at them because, he's king of the jungle. Again, they say king of the jungle, but lions are in the
desert.
In the desert. And, the plains.
Yeah.
But, tigers and leopards are
they're not
cats.
jungle creatures.
How did they... Yeah. What the fuck? No, it's like panthers and jaguars and all the other big cats. You could say, except cheetahs, you could say are like king of the jungle. But no, they went with the one that isn't in the jungle.
Right.
And King of the Jungle roars, and they shoot at him, and he runs away. Meanwhile, the Maximals are in their animal forms, their alt modes. I'm using air quotes here, folks.
One of their many alt modes.
Which one? Who knows? They're all called alt mode, apparently. And they're like, okay, Bighorn, Diver, Tasmanian Kid, you go put out these forest fires. And I'm like, fucking how? And as we'll see, they don't really fucking do much until I've got some. And then it's like, Apache, you come with me. We need to look for that lion. And so Bighorn is charging at fallen trees, knocking them over, kind of like knocking over trees on fire and digging up the ground, trying to like halt the fire's progress. He's actually doing some stuff. It's cool. And then it turns to Tasmanian Kid, and he's peeing on some fire, doing barely anything. And Diver, the frog, is like, I'm too nervous to pee. They're just watching. So Bighorn is like literally like fighting forest fires. And the other two are like, fuck. Well, keep it up. Good job, bro. Keep it up. I'll just be over here drinking water as fast as I can.
I can't pee if you're looking at my dick, okay? Because that's gay.
Well, I can't pee unless you're looking at my dick.
Because that's also gay.
Because that's also gay. We didn't make the rules. We went to school in the 90s and early 2000s, and everything was equally as gay back then. We were told so on many occasions.
Yep. Everything was gay in the late 90s to early 2000s.
Yeah. Everything bad.
And now
it's
just
gay.
And now just everything is gay unironically.
Unironically, yeah.
Come full circle.
Yeah. So Lion Dad meets Robot Lion Son, but Robot Dad's paw is injured. And he says in English, oh, don't worry, it's me. And then the real lion
wait, he says that in English?
Force of the tongue. He speaks in Japanese. What I mean is he speaks human language, which I guess the lion understands and calms down and stops roaring at him, but then passes out from the pain or the exhaustion or the smoke.
Right.
Apache, first aid. And he's like, on it, boss. Where are you going? I'm going. They want the white lion. I'm going to give them the white lion. That was pretty hype. I like that part. And he goes off to like go purposefully get caught.
Yep.
But in my mind, I'm like, how does he know they want to catch him? What if they just shot a missile at him?
Yeah, right. Like, how does he know that this lion is what the Decepticons have been pursuing?
So
no,
there's a lot of leaps in logic in this particular. And again, nothing new to Beast Wars. We've been doing this for like 3 fucking years. There's lots of leaps of logic and things kind of left out. You piece it together. But how on earth could he ever guess that the reason they're burning down the jungle is so that they could flush out and find this particular lion? Well,
right.
That hunch paid off because Starscream and BB net him. They shoot a missile that turns into a net and catch him. And he lets himself be caught.
He lets himself be caught. And they take him back to the Galvaberg 2 Electric Boogaloo. And G2 Megatron is all like, ha ha, I have you now, White Lion.
It's and fine. I can finally have my way with you. And
where
is he?
White Lion is all like, ha ha! Joke's on you.
Metamorph. Like, did that lion just talk? Wait, that voice. It sounds like, and I love how cheesy this is. He jumps up, roaring, and like goes to the top of this big alien structure, right? This like human supercomputer, and walks out, and he's like, Lio Convoy, metamorph, and like dramatically like changes. And this is why I laugh. In analysis, this show's even more ridiculous than if you have it on in the background. He then jumps in his robot form back down to where when he was a lion, he jumped up. So he jumped on cliffs and the building to dramatically hide, come out, transform, and then jump back down.
That's how you know he's a fucking boss.
Yeah, and then like a boss,
and that's a power move right there.
It is, and he's like, so you're destroying all these animals and their homes, and you're trying to kill this lion? Not on my watch. I don't have to show you any mercy now. And I'm like, fuck yes. And he like pulls out his lion head shield that also has a bunch of missiles and lasers and shit on it, and just like lets him have it, and they all run away like bitches. Starscream, BB, and Megatron 2. Yeah, they run away. And that's it. Oh, yeah, and the way they stop the forest fires, this is the single most thing that pops up in my head. Geysers start sprouting from the ground. Huge geysers. And they're like, what? What's happening? What is this? It's like the earth rumbles. And Squid Man.
Scuba.
He's riding these geysers and spinning around, making it rain. And they're like, whoa, like, how were you able to like do this? Yeah, he's making it rain everywhere with these giant geysers. And 1813. There we go. They're like, so you came from an underground river then? That's squid-tastic, Scuba. We hear that pun again.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, that is squid-tastic. After all, I am a squid.
As he puts his hand on his hip and like winks at the camera, and it freeze frames with like a twinkle in his eye. And then the credits roll and like do 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 do.
And yeah, he says, yes, I am a squid after all. And he starts spinning and making a sprinkler effect and puts out these forest fires. And I'm like, is that something squids are known to do? How did he do this? In a geyser.
Like atop of a geyser, putting out forest fires.
He is a squid after all.
That is what the squids are known for. That is typical squid behavior.
Well, Tasmanian kid, you know what they say. You can lead a squid to an underground river, but you can't make him squirt. Yeehaw. Bighorn is the new Ryan Oxen.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, fuck. So that's how they... and then, after all this, it shows like them running away. And after he chases away, so Siege wasn't even lying. After Lio Convoy chases away the Destrons, the Decepticons, they fly away and be like, we'll get you, Maximals. And then it shows
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
It shows Lio Convoy on a cliff, and the other Maximals are just behind him now. They're just fucking there. Yeah. And he goes, don't thank me, thank you, Lion. And he gives a thumbs up, and in the distance, the white lion with a bandage on his paw is on like a cliff, and he roars.
And he does the old the gif of Robert Redford just being like looking sideways at the camera and just smiling and like slowly nodding a couple of times. Like
and I'm like, what do you mean thank you, Lion? I still don't even know what he did. And did he get a steak? I like that they respect life. I like that they respect life.
I mean, he saved Lio Convoy for some reason. Like
I don't understand how he got the lion form and what the magic cave of glitter did. I'm waiting. What did that give him his alt form?
That is a TME quote for the ages right there. I don't understand how he got his lion form or the magic of the cave of glitter.
I don't. There we go. That could be the fucking cold open. I don't, because all the others, they had to scan something. Right. And it's presumed that he scanned like the lion or whatever, but like, what was the cave of glitter?
Who mysteriously like decided to save his life for some reason and carry this like fucking 8-ton robot on his back.
These future lions must have, like, this lion must be like the size of a fucking like truck, or
Yeah.
the size of a U-Haul. There we go. Like these must be genetic experiments or something. Remember the Tasmanian devil?
You
It was just like fucking around with Tasmanian kid.
You just like look at like this white lion's like legs, and they're all like fucking like jacked and like ripped with like veins like popping out.
Climb on my back. I am Lion Chan. Hear me roar. Anyways, the end shot is the lion roaring on a cliff with the jungle all, you know, like not on fire anymore. And then in the background, in fade the Maximals. I should have used that as my background. That's a fucking shot. And they're all smiling, looking at the lion. And yeah, earlier on when you were like, and then they look at the camera, and I think he literally gives a fucking thumbs up to the camera.
Yeah,
before
you were
he,
mentioning.
Yeah, he does. Yep. Yeah, so you weren't kidding. Like that's literally how the episode ends. We just had a faux ending like five times. Is that it? There's always like credit sequence, right? And this one's Lio Convoy explaining the names of the Decepticons.
Yeah, and there's like and next week on Beast Wars 2nd, blah blah happens.
Blah blah, yeah. But yeah, that's the episode. So here on Too Much Energon, we have a little something called the TME rating. It's a 3-tier rating system. It goes from not enough Energon to a sufficient amount of Energon to too much Energon. It's basically bad, okay, good. Siege, you just caught episode 2 of Beast Wars 2nd. White Lion, run. What's your rating?
Not enough Energon.
How dare you?
I enjoyed the first episode of this show for how silly it was, but that I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the right mood for it, but like this episode was just, to me, was just fucking stupid.
It does a lot. Like the first third of the episode is like them chasing a lion.
I know, and it drags its feet like way too long to like get to the reveal that this lion that the Maximals are following for some mysterious reason is Lio Convoy, and it's like, we fucking know it's Lio Convoy.
He's
like,
in the opening. Like we know.
Yeah, like, and why wouldn't Lio Convoy as an individual just like speak up, be like, hey pals, it's me, hey,
don't worry about it, because later we see
pal.
that he can talk.
It's your old pal and commander, Convoy.
And later in the episode, when he shit talks the Decepticons, he's as a lion, so he can talk like that. Dramatic effect, Christopher. Dramatic effect.
Dramatic effect in this case can
suck my balls.
Can
Sigma balls.
Can Sigma balls, Gary? Can Lio my convoy
out of here. As for my rating,
John,
it gets I think it's funny that a lion just picked up Convoy and brought him to a glitter cave. I'd like to know why and what the cave is. Like, is it too much to ask? Or we'll never see the glitter cave ever again.
Maybe it's Angle Slam.
Well, the Decepticons are here because of all the Angle Slam.
So could be.
There we go. So it was a magic cave. And the lion knew to bring him there.
Right.
Because this is a future lion that are incredibly buff and incredibly smart. So really, it's a good thing humans died out to make way for lion and jungle friends.
I mean, humans dying out will probably be a very good thing for the planet in general when that eventually happens.
Yeah, I'm giving it low end of a sufficient amount of Energon. It was entertaining, and I could like make fun of different scenes, but like blah 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 blah. But
Right.
to touch on what you just said, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, humans aren't like we're not important because we invented cars.
No,
like
not at all.
We're not like that important, and if we're harming the planet just from our existence, we're kind of the worst species that's ever evolved on the planet, if you think about it.
We are quite literally destroying this world
So
in numerous ways.
if an extinction event happens and we go away and, like a mold or like white lions are like the most dominant species or whatever, but those aren't ruining the planet, maybe that's the superior species. In the billions of years that the planet's like been around, and the
Right.
14 billion years like the universe is being around, who cares? Like, it's cool that we get to like exist and experience things and have technology, but like, I don't know,
And do
like
podcasts.
dinosaurs were around like hundreds of millions of years,
Yeah.
and they were fine just stomping around and like eating shit. Right? We've been around like what, 50,000 ish years, 5 million if you include other hominids or whatever. So I'm saying that we haven't gone that much farther from like putting like dyes in our mouth and like spitting on like cave walls to like put our handprints.
Think about all the horrendous shit that we have done as a species. Like, human beings
To each
are
other
terrible.
or to animals?
Both.
Both. Yeah. Both. Yeah.
Human beings are horrendous. Like, we're not a species that deserves to live.
Yeah, so when the scientists are like, well, where are all the other like advanced life or whatever? Maybe they took a peek and they were like, fuck those guys.
Fuck
Holy
those
shit.
guys. We're just gonna wait until like the next extinction level event happens, and then maybe we'll go back and like start colonizing.
Yeah, or like if there's like a galactic like, federation or whatever, it's like, why would you invite humans? We haven't even gone to peace with ourselves. Why the
Right.
fuck would we be invited to like a citadel or like to have a seat at the galactic like table? Like, no. We
That was
can't even,
actually
like,
one of the things in Star Trek, why Vulcans left us alone for so long.
because we didn't figure our shit out.
We didn't figure our shit out, and then after like World War III and like the world was in shambles, like Zefram Cochrane invented warp drive, or like he discovered, not invented, but like he discovered the concept of like warp drive, and the Vulcans took notice of that and were like, oh, okay, well maybe they've advanced far enough that we can actually like go and make first contact. And then that actually is in Star Trek canon is what united humanity together and made us like finally be like, you know what, like all this like petty like bullshit that we like fight each other over doesn't really matter because there's a whole like galaxy out there.
So what we're saying is, for the sake
I
of
wish-
mankind,
I wish I lived
Aliens.
in that world.
aliens, please come and unite Earth.
Yep.
For the love of God. I know the U.S. government just announced like all that like alien like bullshit, and it's like, okay, that's nice and all, but where are they? Where are they now? Now, come here, hold a giant nuke over the Earth, and be like, hey, fucking play nice, or we take it.
Aliens do a drive-by and they're just like, lol, nope. And speed away.
Oh, nope.
Anyway, that was episode 130 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. We're at the single $5 Gary tier. You get a bonus podcast called the Super Lazorcomb Patreon Super Show, where we talk about random bullshit, things going on in the world, yada yada yada. You also get a exclusive, or you also get like exclusive bonus archival content like commentary tracks, old like preamble audio, and you also get the ability to pitch a show for me and Cal to review on our other podcast, the Lasercomb podcast. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb.
You got a hidden gem like Manimal.
Yes.
That's how you get us to watch it.
Manimal or Fighting Foodons. That's the way. $5 a month, people. Follow me on social media. You can find me at Instagram at Christopher Siege, or on Threads, an Instagram app, at the same address. Cal, where can people find you?
And me, I'm on the Threads and the Instagram at Kalhalla, Kalha. Got it. Kalhalla. A mosquito. Had to get it.
I was gonna say, was it a skeeter or a fruit fly?
Oh, you know what? I actually can't tell based on its remains, but something in front of me, and I just had that reaction. Because it's only one of those. You can tell we live in the same area, because it's like, it's only going to be one of those two things.
Right.
Fucking where? TikTok. Oh yeah, we've got a TikTok. You can, got a TikTok here and there at NeoCal.
There's also a Lasercomb TikTok, which is quite literally just me. And it's
sometimes there's clips and
once in a while, but
clips, yeah.
But it's usually just like me, like uploading clips from the podcast that we do, things that I find especially funny.
The Cheetor, the Cheetor memorial.
Right. The Cheetor shrine. Shrine. Jesus.
Shrine.
We'll be back next time with episode 131 of Too Much Energon, where we will be talking about episode 3 of Beast Wars 2nd. Big Horns Rage. Yeehaw.
Oh boy. He's got some rage.
Yeah, with that in mind, I've been The Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoCal, your other host.
And until next time, we will angle slam you next week.
Angle slam you next week! Oh, this shows up really well on the camera.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Wow, a green screen can do anything!
Bye-bye.